G'day guys, my name is CJ. Now what do you think when you hear the letters GTS? Is it this? Or this? Or from the Aussie peeps, this? Or maybe you're a tech and smartwatch geek, in which case it might be this. Now there's literally no common theme here other than the name, and that's fitting, because this is the Amazfit GTS smartwatch by Huami, and unlike the cars, the GTS doesn't brag about performance, but it at least on the surface looks like a great looking budget smartwatch. So let's take a look. Now I've spoken about this a lot because I've reviewed a lot of smartwatches over the years, but the usefulness of smartwatches really depends on what you need from a smartwatch and whether or not it can perform its functions without getting in the way. Apple's watches are the gold standard now thanks to the whole Apple ecosystem, and because it basically nails most basic smartwatch things like fitness tracking, notifications, and being a watch really well without getting in the way. But of course, the price of entry is pretty substantial, and not everyone needs or wants an Apple Watch. And I'd hazard to say a lot of people only need or want a device that can reliably do the basics, last a decent while whilst doing so, and look good too, all without breaking the bank. So as mentioned in my last video, in which you can check out in the card up here, the stainless steel Amazfit GTR and the GTS was sent to me as part of the official online launch of Amazfit in Australia. So right now there's only a limited selection of models, and the GTS plus the GTR in the last video are actually not the latest models out, because there actually are updated 2 and 2E versions already. But in any case, let's unbox this version 1 GTS and see what's what. And like the GTR, there's not much to the overall experience. You've got the watch itself, which is lightweight and compact, and of course there's no points awarded for guessing who they borrowed their design language on. Otherwise, there's some basic paperwork, and of course the magnetic charging adapter, which is compatible with other Amazfit watch devices like its sister product, the GTR. And with the watch unboxed, the first thing you'll notice is the build and design, which is a square design that, again, unashamedly borrows many design cues from the Apple Watch, all the way down to the customizable watch faces with adjustable complications that change what info it gives you. The case is made of an aluminium alloy with a plastic bottom, some Gorilla Glass on the top, and a single clicky function button flanked by hot swappable silicone straps. It all feels really well put together with nice tight tolerances, and all of it combines into a package that only weighs 24.8 grams and is really slim at 9.4 millimeters thick. That makes it super comfortable to wear all day, every day, constantly, and it'll look good doing so. And you'll want to, because the screen is a colorful and sharp 1.65 inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 348 by 442 and a pixel density of 348. So by Apple standard, that's considered a retina display, and it's really nice to look at. So for a budget smartwatch, that's not very budget. Now it does have a bit of a bezel on it, but it's a curved edge-to-edge screen, so it looks quite elegant, and again, kind of looks like an Apple Watch. It gets bright enough to see outdoors, and it actually bakes in ambient light sensors too for auto brightness, though that can be a little bit hit and miss. Still, it's nice to see that this feature is included when you see other budget options like the TicWatch E2 not having this feature baked in, despite how basic it seems. Now it has all the typical trimmings of a standard smartwatch like Bluetooth, GPS, which is a bit hit and miss, heart rate sensor, and 5 atmospheres of water resistance. So it makes it a reliable companion for those who also like to keep active. And like the GTR, it doesn't have a pulse oximeter, NFC, or speakers, but being a generation old, that's fine. If you need these, keep an eye out for all the newer models. Now once you start using it and scroll around the UI, you'll definitely notice its age. Like the GTR model, this processor is aimed more at power efficiency than performance, and as a result, navigating the UI is, a bit janky and laggy as you'd expect. That being said, it never froze or struggled to perform its functions, and so for all its basic functions, it works perfectly fine. Touch response was respectable as well, and all functionality seen in the GTR is seen here too, and that's ranging from its extensive 12 sport mode fitness tracking, music controls, heart rate sensing, notification delivery, clock face customization, all of which is controlled in the central app of the Zepp app. And the app itself is pretty decent, which shows you all sorts of different details, like with your health or any events coming up, or how you're tracking in terms of your sleep, and allows you to set different settings like the alarms and the alerts. But on the watch itself, Swiping sideways gives you information on health tracking, and you swipe up to get you to the app menu system, and swipe down for different controls like the torch, screen control, and do not disturb. And as mentioned before, the GTS comes with custom watch faces that have features that mimic the Apple Watch's complications. You can choose different widgets to show info like time for sunrise, trends for heart rate, upcoming events, exercise metrics, pretty much everything you would really need to know. And this added level of customization is pretty useful, and it allows an extra level of personalization, which I think is great given that there's no app store for these watches. That being said, I'm told that the library of these watch faces is also constantly being updated too, and to date, from my own count, there was over 100 faces. Plus, these are all customized for the square design of the GTS models compared to the round faces you see on the GTR. So that's pretty sweet. Now, one of the biggest draws for the GTR model mentioned in my other video was that it's got amazing battery life. And it's still true to an extent with the GTS, but it doesn't last quite as long. And there's a reason for this. Here, the GTS has a 210 mAh battery, and as a result, it lasts up to a theoretical 14 days with ideal use compared to the theoretical 24 days with the GTR. Now, with my own typical use, just using all the default settings, it matches this expectation more or less. It also has options for an always-on display and more regular health tracking, but that'll significantly chew into its longevity. So if you're wanting maximal use without compromising too much on the experience, I'd probably just leave it on the default settings because it's perfectly fine. But at least you have the option to have other features as well. Now, compared to other mainstream smartwatches, comparatively, the GTS's battery life is excellent, especially considering most of the mainstream smartwatches will last at best 2 to 3 days, maybe a week. And for me, it's one of the biggest draws for the GTS compared to other budget smartwatches. The GTS is a lightweight, attractive looking budget smartwatch that, like the GTR, absolutely nails all the basic functionality expected of a smartwatch. And it's got amazing battery life. It costs about $180 to $220 depending on where you buy it in Australia, or $120 US direct from Amazfit. And that's a pretty great price for what it provides and its feature set. Its price also makes it a great option for kids too if you're looking for an option that looks good, is built well, and it won't break the bank, and it'll last a decent amount of time. And of course, if you want one that looks like an Apple Watch and to not stand out, well, the GTS has that nailed too. But what do you think? Which one would you choose, the GTS or the GTR? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know if there are any other budget smartwatches that you'd like me to check out. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Give us a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and ding the bell icon so you don't miss out. Stay safe as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.